Good afternoon, everyone. This is Anthony, back again with Puget Sound Stormwatch on Facebook and YouTube. Nice to see you all again. It's been a while since I've been on YouTube. I had a couple live streams last week, I believe, but it's been some time, around a month, since I've had an actual briefing. So I'm done with all the travel nonsense and everything. Gotten over Labor Day. You know, the rest period's over. It's time to get back into this. So we're going to be starting with today. It is September 2nd. Tuesday, around 12:17 at the time this is being recorded. This is the current look at the windy 500 millibar wind map right now. This right here is our upper level jet stream. This was our low pressure system that caused some thunderstorms in northwest Washington and southwest BC in the last couple days. This is going to be moving back out to sea, and then we get to watch this developing upper level low off of California, because this could have some weather implications for us this week and weekend. First off, we'll start by looking out at the European 12Z. This is from 5 a.m. Here is our most recent storm system going back out to sea. And then keep your eyes on this little system here in Northern California. So it looks to have some influence maybe later on this week a little bit. So this is for Wednesday, 11 p.m. And it's almost directly over Western Washington, Northwest Oregon, albeit much weaker. This could have an effect on the mountains, possibly giving the Olympics and Cascades thunderstorm potential. The SPC has also highlighted some of our area as well, mainly Cascades East for Oregon and Washington, for having a thunderstorm potential on Thursday. Then as we go forward in time a little bit, we have another little shortwave upper level trough that moves into Northern California, Southern Oregon, and this will also have huge ramifications on our weather depending on where it sets up. Now, as we look at the upper level wind map, this is 500 millibar, 18,000 feet winds. This is our jet stream way up here, and you notice these clockwise winds right here. This is the upper level ridge setting up that will amplify our temperatures before this little first shortwave feature comes into fruition. It's in and out rather quickly, and then we have to keep our eyes on this negatively tilted upper level trough forming here. So from northwest to southeast along its axis, this gives it an extra kick. As we go through the day on Saturday, you notice this feature start to move north, and it brings some stronger upper level winds into the area. If we can get a southeasterly to northwesterly wind gradient, then we could have some of these storms that do form over the Cascades roll off into the lowlands. This is looking at 500 millibar or 18,000 feet relative humidity. This first little shortwave impulse that forms here will pull some moisture out of the desert southwest. Then the second one that starts to come through will pull some out of the Pacific, but will also pull some more moisture out of the southwest and bring us our best overall storm chance west of the Cascades. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions about wildfire smoke on Facebook. So thankfully, most of this fire smoke is staying aloft, which means above the surface. However, in the coming days, we may have to worry about some of this mixing down towards the surface, especially east of the Cascades. So we got a few wildfires up here, especially this one west of Ross Lake. We got the Wildcat Fire near Chinook Pass. And we got smoke coming up from the Emigrant Fire in Oregon. And all three of these, combined with some smoke from the Bear Gulch Fire, is really going to sock in the upper atmosphere with some smoke in the next few days. At least before the short wave comes and sort of swirls it up and blows some of it out. Then I'm going to jump to the surface smoke map. We don't have to worry too much about dense surface smoke along the I-5 corridor, but if you're around areas where the wildfires are burning, such as the Cascades of Whatcom and Skagit counties, as well as near the Wildcat and Bear Gulch fires, you will have to worry about degrading air quality. This includes areas east of the Cascade Crest. Speaking of air quality at the moment, not looking too good around Western Washington, especially near these fires where it's hazardous in the Cascades of Whatcom County. Starting to see unhealthy to unhealthy for hazardous groups as you go into the foothills of Whatcom County, including Skagit County, Snohomish County, and the farther south you go away from the water. Now, some areas are good, but there's a lot of areas of moderate and unhealthy for hazardous groups around the Central Sound. But it typically starts to degrade the farther south you get. Looking at cloud cover over the next couple days, see this HER model here highlights the marine push in clear detail. And you notice how the marine push clears off, we start to really clear out, and then we get some high clouds out of Oregon, possibly associated with this short wave moving in. We do still have a marine layer moving into the Chehalis Gap here, but it doesn't protrude nearly as far inland as today. And then we just have this complex of high clouds coming in out of Oregon. If we switch it to infrared, you can see this in clear detail. These are really high cloud tops, possibly associated with some shower activity, mainly over the Cascades. Now, if I zoom out and combine this with the radar, we'll have to keep an eye on what the radar says for Northwest Oregon and Southwest Washington. This is tomorrow at 10 p.m. The Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma has the southern portion of the county warning area, just south of Tacoma and Olympia, in this contour for a general thunderstorm risk. It includes the southern Cascades and areas of southeast Washington around the Blue Mountains, and a much broader area on Thursday. See, it even includes some of the Seattle metro area, as well as most of eastern Washington and the entirety of the Washington Cascades, for a chance of isolated thunderstorms, particularly in the mountains, but we can't count out any drifters coming off, especially to the northern lowlands. The NAM 3KM high-res model shows a slightly similar setup, albeit the area of showers don't make it nearly as far north before starting to disintegrate. Maybe a few isolated showers south and west of Seattle as we go into early Thursday morning. But it highlights a better chance for the Cascades of Oregon and parts of Northwest Oregon for isolated thunderstorms later on in the day Thursday. This is 5 p.m. It shows some storms right off the Cascade Crest here approaching Mount Hood. Switching back to the European for just a second to show the potential lightning flash density 6-hour average. So this is from tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Chances of seeing some lightning flashes in the Olympics and parts of the Cascades. And then another chance, 11 to 5 Thursday. Now, watch as some of this activity really starts to spread out and move up. This is a little later on in the day, Friday. So it highlights a better chance on Friday for the Cascades and maybe some of these sneaking up to western Washington as well. This is the 5-hour average from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday. This would be the better chance with that second wave impulse I was talking about earlier. But it looks like right now most of the activity looks to stay south and west of the Puget Sound, but we will be watching this area closely because a lot of these areas are highlighted in that day 3 risk as well, especially north of Seattle. Alright everybody, before I wrap things up for today, I got a couple announcements to make. So this is the Puget Sound Stormwatch Facebook page, and we have officially surpassed 22,000 followers as of last night. So thank you all who came over from Facebook to YouTube to check me out. If you don't know about the Facebook page and you are on YouTube, go ahead and look up Puget Sound Stormwatch on Facebook. And a reminder to everyone as well that I also have the Puget Sound Stormwatch official store launched. We do have a 20% off coupon. I believe this is going for one more day. It might have been extended, but I do have 4 designs at the moment. Let me take a selfie, Stratus Quo, the Puget Sound Stormwatch logo, as well as the simplistic, highly requested Every Cloud Has a Story design. Puget Sound Stormwatch will also be expanding its horizon to a few new services, so we will be launching our page on Patreon, as well as launching a Blue Sky account, which is similar to Twitter or X. Those should be launched by the end of the week if all goes well. So with all that being said, I hope this was a much more snappy sort of forecast briefing. We'll eventually have to change recording softwares because I do in the near future want to do simulcast streaming to YouTube and Facebook. Thank you guys so much again for watching. This was Anthony with Puget Sound Stormwatch on Facebook and YouTube signing off for today. Have a good one, everybody.